Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another dungeon guide for the game TERA Online with me, Meoni. Today we're looking at the level 35 to 40 instance Cultists Refuge, so without further ado let's have a little look at the map and go from there. So with 11 rooms this dungeon may look a little daunting at first, but fear not, these 11 rooms are accessed through linear progression. So you need to go to the first room to click on an obelisk which opens a door, and so on, and you progress through the dungeon like that. So this dungeon has 4 bosses, one of which is an optional boss which you don't have to do, so that makes a total of 3 for anyone who's trying to do this in a speedrun for example. But if you have the quest to do so, you can access the 4th room, which is actually quite a cool fight. I will be showing that in this dungeon guide, so let's get started. So you enter in through the portal at the Dark Cathedral, the other side, in the world. And you end up here, and my god it looks beautiful, doesn't it? So try not to get too amazed by the visuals as you come in here, and head to the first platform where you can pick up some quests. These quests are your generic kill the bosses and kill some mobs along the way quests. You can pretty much pick all these up and gain an absolute truckload of experience. I'm level 38, so on the head start obviously I'm unable to actually get any experience, but I will be handing these in on the day of the release and probably coming in here to get some quick experience and then heading off to Alamanthia. So you come into this first room here and you need to kill this mob in here, not particularly hard. Just stay at range if you're ranged, try to attack from behind. He's got a bit of a sweeping cleave. You want to kill this guy and then you click on the obelisk behind him, which then triggers the opening of the door to the east wing, so then you want to head down to the east wing and go through there. Now this room is like most other rooms in this dungeon, full of absolutely massive AoE packs. And that's exactly what you want to be doing here. You want to get a decent tank, get some aggro on them, and put them in a corner or an area of the room where they're static, and then just have your DPS unload an absolute load of AoE. Make sure you don't overthreat them on the pull though, otherwise you're going to have at least 30 plus mobs beating your face in. Yeah. So let's speed this up all the way to the first boss. All of the other mobs are pretty much AoEable. Nothing really changes here, just make sure you don't overthreat and you're good to go. You can't really die here. So on a side note, I'm actually starting to really enjoy playing the Sorcerer class. I played this on the Korean version and it's only getting better. I've never played past level 28 before. So it's amazing. There's a lot of massive AoE nukes that we get. So I'm really enjoying it. I definitely recommend playing Sorcerer if you haven't before. It's just full of numbers, it really is. So yeah. So one of these quests actually asks you to pick up some weapon supplies from these crates. Be sure to pick these up if you're obviously doing the quests in here. These aren't repeatable, but they're pretty cool your first time. Lots of experience as a reward, so make sure you do that. And they look like this. So spinning on a little bit here to make use of good time, we're moving to the Chamber of Hatred where you will find the first boss. So the first boss, Galanos, he does really nothing special at all, there's not much to worry about. However, you want to be making sure that you're pretty much at range if you're ranged. He likes to hit hard and he likes to hit fast. One of his things is he puts a red targeting circle around him periodically. This is essentially a get the hell away from me thing. So if you're not wearing heavy armor, you're likely to die, and your healer should have a res ready or a big heal if you're not dead already, which you probably will be if you're stood in that, and a bit slow. Another thing he does is he periodically goes to the center of the room and summons a load of minions. You want to have your tank or somebody pick these up and off-tank them, and just AoE them down and then go back onto the boss. You shouldn't have any worries in this fight at all. It's really pretty much the simplest fight you're going to probably be encountering in here. And yeah, you're only really going to die to silly mistakes and people not moving fast enough from big red circles of fiery death. So another tip I'd give you here is just because there are little ads and they're easily killed, it doesn't necessarily mean just nuke the boss and ignore them. You still need to nuke the ads down, because every single one is an extra HP of the actual boss fight itself, and will slow you down in the end. Also, they have a tendency to go for healers, because a healer aggro is insane in this game, and a healer will die very quickly. So avoid the messiness, kill the ads, and then kill the boss. It's not hard, and it will be a lot faster than just neglecting them, unless you're above the level required for this dungeon. Yeah, I've just realised there aren't any ads in this particular video footage of the fight. I don't know why that is actually, I'm not particularly sure. But anyway, there you go, there's the first boss and he's dead. Moving on to the next boss, because the other packs of ads are pretty much the same as I showed you earlier. You want to be heading to the west wing now instead of where you are in the east wing at the moment, and heading that direction. So once you've ascended the ramp into this room here, you will meet a blue dress woman. Now don't be deceived, if you actually interact with her, it'll bring up a dialogue option to reveal who she is. And she's none other than the priestess Archaea. Now Archaea does fire and frost damage, so you want to stay out of the red circle she puts down, which is like a warning of where she's going to cast, like every other mob in the game and boss. Just stay out of this and pour on the damage. The tank can be lazy, just move to where she is after she's done her spell, stay out of the rings that warn you where she's going to do the AoE, and pretty much kill her. There's very little else to her, she's a one-phase fight, just pour into her. She doesn't hit very hard anyway, there are no ads on this fight, so just go crazy and enjoy the free loot. You may notice to the right there is actually a blue circle which is doing periodic damage to those who stand in it. Stay out of this, this is the only other thing you've got to worry about, but she does this at range, quite far away from her current location in a direction. So yeah, just move from this. It doesn't hit too hard anyway. It's just more of a thing that the priest or the mystic may get caught in. So you just want to move out of that as soon as possible and resume the DPS. The other spell is like a conal cleave ice thing. It doesn't do any damage at all, but don't be worried if you get stood in this at any time. It's not enough to actually hurt you in the slightest. If you do get caught in it, then there's no real problem at all. But there's something to mention that you can avoid as well. Once Archaea's bit the dust, the next room contains the next boss, Archaea. Now let's go to Archaea's room and show you some of the abilities he does and how to avoid them. In here you're going to see a book in front of you with some dialogue with the options that actually summon the boss from the soulstone at the far side of the room there. So let's get prepared for this boss. Archaea is a pretty tough boss so far in comparison to the rest, but his attacks are a lot like of Libraxius, which is a big ass monster in the Dark Cathedral outside the actual dungeon. Pay attention to his eyes and main body. If either change, something is going to happen. So blinking eyes indicate a fast triple tentacle slam is coming, and when his body spins up and tilts, Archaea is about to charge in that direction. Its range covers the entire room, so backing up won't get you out of danger. You need to move fast to either side or renew your faith in your weapon's ability to absorb damage. You also need to look out for two kinds of lightning attack. The first is a standard targeted AoE, so watch for it and get out of the way. If you miss your dodge, it's not the end of the world though, it doesn't kill you instantly, I don't think. The second though is a much bigger deal. Archaea will explode in a very wide area with enough damage to drop lightly armoured characters with a secondary dot effect, strong enough to drop everyone else. So get clear or block, or hope the healer lives long enough to remove the effect, or you're likely going to die. The things that most catch people out are the charges and sometimes the explosions on the floor. Just stay out of the marked areas and pay attention to which part of the body is moving and where it's moving, what it's doing, and you should be fine. This is really a lot easier than people make out to be, and really only stupid mistakes get you killed. So, but yeah, stupid mistakes happen to the best of us, and me included. I've died on this previously before in the past, so yeah, have fun, and that was Archaea. Bit of free loot for you. So now that you've defeated Archaea and destroyed the Soulstone, Yelena thinks it's a good idea to find out who's behind the last door. So she hands you a scroll which you remove the seal with it. So if you remember back a little while, I said it was a room at the fourth boss, but you'll see like this demonic thing. You go there and you use the scroll and the door opens. And it opens to this. And that is Bezorbus. Yeah, welcome to the front lines. That is an actual real Argon, the first time you've seen one that's full size. And it doesn't like you. In fact, it wants to kill you and make you its trousers using your skin. So yeah, this is not going to be an easy fight in the slightest, but people make out it's a lot harder than it is. Suppose you need to practice these tactics and don't get hit, essentially, before you do hard mode anyway, so these tips apply to that as well. So don't actually stand anywhere near the front of this boss. It sounds like a stupid thing to say, really. A massive monster with a cleave and 2 massive swords. But if they do hit you, you are dead. Cloth, dead. Warriors, maybe not so, and the other melee characters, but you really need to stay away from them. The other thing you need to know about, the biggest thing, is the fact that no place in this room is actually safe. He has the ability to do a short range teleport and then does a strike attack afterwards. Then there is no warning, no blinking of the eyes or anything like that. He can just teleport where he wants. If he does so, he will kill you, pretty much. Basically, the best way to play this if you're ranged is to run and gun, run and gun. I mean, I've had occasions where I've literally teleported away using my blink, and then basically he's been where I've just been. He literally teleported there and did a strike attack. And it's really better to be on your feet and just wear him down slowly like that than it is to take the chance, stand still and try and nuke him, because you're going to die probably. Also, good practice is actually placing a raid marker onto the Bezorbus boss, simply because if he does the teleport move to the center of a room, he will summon duplicates of himself, which are weaker, but it's going to mess up the entire fight and split the DPS. So the best offense is a good defense, mark the target and only DPS that one if he does summon duplicates. Make sure you stay out of red circles. They mean exactly what you think they're going to do, i.e. your death with fire or otherwise. Well guys, you've just cleared Cultists Refuge, and I hope this has been of some help to you. It will certainly be a lot of help to people who do the hard mode. The tactics I've included work on that as well, and are a lot more strict. It's good practice to learn these tactics straight off from the bat, and then you're not in for surprises later on in the game. If you have liked this video, please press like below, and also subscribe to our channel for more gaming awesomeness. I've been Meoni, and this has been another dungeon guide for TERA Online. If you guys want to see something in particular on TERA Online that you haven't seen anywhere else, leave a comment below and I'll make sure I get it done. If it's PvP, Battlegrounds, Dungeons, you name it, I will do it. I've been Meoni of AceGamesTV. I'll see you next time.